What is going on? This is Dylan with Dylan Talks Tone, and this is your weekly gear news update. Do me a favor, hit the subscribe button and the like button if you like guitar stuff, because that's what this channel is all about. It's about guitar stuff. Wednesdays are for gear, and we've got some pretty cool new gear stuff happening, so let's just jump right in. Catalainbread has come out with a new fuzz pedal called the Fuzzrite Germanium. This is modeled after, Mascis, I think in 66 to 68, I want to say, made a pedal that was a fuzz, and apparently it was pretty cool. For the first few years, they used germanium, and then they switched to silicone for the last year of production. So these things are kind of rare, and they got a hold of one of them, and they made a pretty cool pedal. The cool part about this pedal is it can switch between the two modes. So you've got that vintagey germanium thing, and then you've got a switch that comes to a more modern situation. On top of that, then there's a knob that you can actually blend between the two kinds of fuzz. So this is a fairly versatile fuzz pedal, and it is not expensive. I want to say this thing is, at least for a boutique fuzz pedal anyway, somewhere around $179.95. So that's pretty cool. I'll leave a link to this if I can find it, as well as to as much of this stuff as I can find in the description. So do me a favor and use those links and shop around and check it out. For those of you that are a Dinosaur Jr. fan, Jay Mascis and Electro Harmonics got together to make a fuzz pedal because, since we're talking about fuzz, the Ram's Head Big Muff Pie. This is exclusively only going to be available on Reverb, so you'll be able to catch it there. Of course, it's going to be purple and white because everything that he has some sort of purple involved in it. But this is just a fuzz modeled after one of his earliest fuzzes. Apparently, he had a fuzz. He loved it. It got stolen. He tried to get another one. He literally traded like an amp head for it. Fuzz has always been a part of his tone. If you've ever listened to any Dinosaur Jr., you'll know. One of my favorite bands from that time period. I still listen to them to this day. This is a pretty cool pedal, and this one might be worth getting your hands on. Did you know that Orange Amplification made a bass? It's called the O bass. I think that's pretty funny. And this is what it looks like. It's pretty cool. It's got like a P-bass style pickup in it, and it's got this pretty cool stepped pick guard. So a couple of things have changed. They've gone to an Okum body, which is pretty popular these days. A lot of people are doing this, especially in this price point, because it's a pretty affordable bass. I think this is a 32-inch bass, 34, I apologize, 34-inch bass, 43 millimeter nut, and a top-loading bridge. It comes in this orange, comes in a black, the peg head is black, and then you can also get a tortoiseshell pickguard on the black, I think. So pretty cool bass, simple, easy, does what a bass does, and I really dig the shape and the pickup choice and everything. Pretty cool. This next story is very interesting to me. This is IK Multimedia. You can see it here. Software company. They have some pieces of hardware, mostly interface kind of stuff, analog to digital interface things. This is very interesting though. For those of you that are not familiar with amp modeling, typically what it is you take an analog signal, like you take this guitar amp that I've got sitting right here, you put a microphone in front of it, and then capture that sound to be used digitally. Up until this point, for the most part, at least in consumer spaces, you've only really been able to do this, I think, really well anyway, with a piece of hardware like a Kemper or an Axe-Fx to be able to capture a model and make it into a digital amp and then use it. This is a suite of products by IK Multimedia that allow any of us to be able to do this for a very reasonable amount of money. We're not talking $1,800 like a Kemper. We're only talking a few $100s with a piece of software. So there is a standalone piece of software that can be used, so you can just like have your computer on and play it after you have captured your amplifier and your sounds that you already own, and now you can use them in the computer to record with. There's also an app that works in any DAW, digital audio workstation, that you have, well, most of them anyway, that then you will be able to, again, you'll be able to record and multi-track and use in your song production, which is very cool. There's also, so there's going to be a PC version and a Apple version. There's also going to be an app, and then there's also going to be a piece of hardware to work as an interface to accomplish this capturing of the sounds that you own, like in your hardware amp that you already own. This is really cool, and it's a really reasonable price. I want to try this. Now, here's the only thing. As you see these in video demos and stuff over the next few months, because I'm sure there will be many, one thing that those of us that are familiar with amp modeling know: the quality of how you do this and how you capture this sound reflects on how good it is in the computer. So the thing that worries me about this is seeing many people in an echoey room with an SM57 in front of an amplifier and being like, this sound sucks, because it wasn't captured in a way that makes a lot of sense. Fortunately, there is a bunch of stuff built into this software, and IK Multimedia's AI and a whole bunch of things surrounding this that hopefully set this up for success. But just know when you see a demo of this that it's probably done in a controlled environment, and you'll need to do the same thing when you do it at your house with your amp. But I think this is a very cool piece of software and a cool step forward for a consumer product that doesn't cost thousands of dollars. I dig this a lot, and I want to try it. Fender has officially launched the 40th anniversary Squier series. Now, this was announced back in January. We actually had a story on this, January of 2022. We had a story on this, and we said, hey, these things are coming. But it took a long time to get them actually out. And so they are officially released. I will leave a link to them in the description. I think these are very cool guitars. They are Squier. They're classic vibe, basically. But they've got some different appointments with the gold pick guards. I think these are anodized aluminum. I think it's worth buying the guitar just to get the pick guard, which is really cool. They're available in a bunch of colors. One of the things I really dig about these guitars is obviously the hardware appointments are really cool, but they have block inlays. So getting a Telecaster with a block inlay or a Strat with a block inlay is really cool. They've got they're just cool. I don't even know what to tell you. I just think they're really cool. I love this blue Strat with the gold pick guard. I love this black Tele with the gold pick guard. I think these are fantastic. And then there's a couple of basses available. I think we have a jazz bass and a P bass available as well as a Jazzmaster. So they're going to be like $5.99, something like that, which some people really consider pricey for a Squier. But the features involved in this kind of make a lot of sense with the price point. So I'll leave a link to these in the description. These are really cool. I didn't order one of these, but I do have a new Tele coming, so I'm excited to get my hands on it. Really cool series of guitars. This is a pretty cool setup. We have Chris Tone Kingfish Ingram getting a signature guitar from Fender. And this is a very interesting guitar. Let's just get it out of the way right away. This thing is $19.99, so $2,000. It doesn't say anywhere in any of the press, so I had to call a little bird and ask a little question yesterday to find out that these are made in Corona, California. This is not a made in Mexico signature guitar that is then, marked up because of the signature thing. This is actually a US guitar. In fact, most of the features on it make it sort of comparable to like a souped up American Professional 2 Telecaster. So when you think of a $1,699 Telecaster with some extras on it, pushing it up to that $2,000 mark, it kind of makes sense. So let's look at some of the crazy things that are in this thing. So I believe it's a 12-inch radius fretboard with a 25.5-inch scale, just a normal Tele kind of stuff. But there are a couple of very interesting things. 21 frets. there's a couple of very interesting things here. It's got a stop bar tailpiece, which is not normal Tele, so you don't have a top loader or a string through. It's a stop bar tailpiece. It's got the special Kingfish humbuckers. So this is basically like a Tele Deluxe, but it's got these special Kingfish humbuckers in it that are supposed to be really, made for his sound, obviously. And they actually have engraved with a K on the cover, which is pretty cool. I think on the neck plate there's an engrave as well. Dot inlays, a special color, big peg head, which is pretty cool. I kind of really like that. And yeah, it's a pretty cool guitar. This color is really pretty. This purple with the black pickguard. So it's kind of a special guitar. So if you take an American Pro 2, add some extras to it that you can't get anywhere else in this particular fashion, I think this is going to be a really nice guitar. This guitar is made in Corona, California, like I mentioned. Found that out yesterday, so it's a pretty cool thing. Let me know what you think of this guitar in the comments below. I really, really like it. I think this is, as soon as I saw this, I was like, this is a very cool setup. And it's, there's going to be a lot of humbuckers in the Tele comments, but I really, really like this setup. I think it's pretty sweet. So there you go, the Kingfish Telecaster. I like it a lot. Do me a favor and hit the like and the subscribe button. Make sure you check out our Thursday live stream video. We've got a cool hangout coming tomorrow night where we answer questions that came in over Patreon, as well as YouTube members, as well as anybody that wants to ask a question during the live stream about guitar stuff, setup, pickups, electronics, all that kind of stuff that we do around here. We've got like 50 pickups to make this week, so we are pretty busy. So I think that's going to be pretty awesome. If you want anything for your guitar, upgrade parts, guitar pickups, humbuckers, single coils, P90s, any of that kind of stuff, Dylan Talks Tone, DylanPickups.com. It'll get you to the same place. And make sure you check out our Instagram, Dylan Talks Tone, because we've been throwing up some demos and stuff of the various pickups that we've been making. They're on the website too, but a lot of people ask about that. So we've been doing a bunch of stuff over on Instagram, and how we make pickups here and that kind of stuff. It's been over on Instagram as well. Thanks for hanging out, and we will see you in the next video.